Welcome to this episode of Trojan Poetry. This week, I've chosen the poem, and John has not seen it yet. He is nodding vigorously because he can't wait to get started.
I don't think I was nodding vigorously. I was
like
nodding.
This for a second. I saw you.
It wasn't vigorously.
All right. I used my peripheral vision, as they say.
All right,
Here we go. So this one is called "The Moon Rose Over the Bay. I Had a Lot of Feelings" by Donika Kelly.
Now, is Beyonce the Bay? No.
Rose Over the Bay. Oh, maybe. No, I don't think so. All right. I am taken with the hot animal of my skin, grateful to swing my limbs and have them move as I intend. Though my knee, though my shoulder, though something is torn or tearing. Today, a dozen squid dead on the harbor beach. One mostly buried, one with skin empty as a shell and hollow feeling. And though the tentacles look soft, I do not touch them. I imagine they were startled to find themselves in the sun. I imagine the tide simply went out without them. I imagine they cannot feel the black flies charting the raised hills of their eyes. I write my name in the sand, Donika Kelly. I watch 18 seagulls skim the sandbar and lift low in the sky. I pick up a pebble that looks like a green egg. To the ditch lily I say, I am in love. To the jeep parked haphazardly on the narrow street, I am in love. To the roses' white petals rim brown, to the yellow-lined pavement, to the house trimmed in gold, I am in love. I shout with the rough calculus of walking. Just let me find my way back. Let me move like a tide come in.
I think it was Beyonce.
Really? I was really
kidding.
proud of myself when I found this poem because this might actually be the first happy poem
Hey.
that we've done in a long time or maybe ever. So
I think last week's was pretty good.
Yeah.
The science one.
Right, yeah. But not everything is doom and gloom at Trojan Poetry these days. In the shop. I thought this was really cool. I want to look up some more of her stuff. I think this poem was written just last year, I want to say, in 2016, 2017-ish. So she's still active and out there. And what stood out to you, John? I mean,
well, I always tell my students one thing to look for is juxtaposition, right? What's being juxtaposed, what's being compared and contrasted. And as I don't walk into it right away, but I began to notice what I thought was a trend or a pattern or a clear juxtaposition. And that first image, I am taken with the hot animal of my skin, just that description, right? That your skin is not quite you, right? There's a distance between you and your skin, and it's like an animal, and she's taken with it, right? She likes it, and it seems happy, and she's swinging her limbs, and she's going. She's just happy on the beach, and then although something is torn or tearing, so you get that juxtaposition of the inner and the outer, and the happiness and the kind of disturbing thing, and then the squid hit me. That's disturbing, but then it went back to some more upbeat or happy feelings, and that's obviously the title. I had a lot of feelings, and I think just being the moon. I guess I didn't really see the moonrise. I guess now looking back at the title,
right? I imagine they were startled to find themselves in the sun.
Startled to find themselves in the sun. Yeah, but then the moon is rising.
Simply went out, which would usually be
they ended up on the shore, and they're like, whoa, what are we doing here? And then the thing went out with the moon, right, with the tide, and then they got stuck. Is that it? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I pictured this happening during the day, right?
Yeah.
Because there's so many colors that she mentions towards the end.
Right. But so I guess what I saw was the kind of the juxtaposition of she's in nature, and it's just there's so many things to feel in nature. Like there's not one feeling you get from nature and how complex it is. And it reminded me of an E.E. Cummings poem called, I think it's called Maggie and Millie and Molly and May, where little girls go to the beach and each girl experiences the beach in a different way. Maybe I'll put a link to that. Or maybe we'll do it next week.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
And so just that kind of sense of there's this physical experience that causes this not confusion, this
almost
plethora.
Like sensory overload.
Yeah.
She's feeling her body, but like you said, I thought that was an awesome first line, or I guess third line, because the title is kind of part of the poem, I think. But I'm taken with the hot animal of my skin. It seems like her mind is separate from her body. She's looking at herself almost from outside. And the squid section, I was reading it, and I was like, oh, so this is going to be a poem about reflecting on dead squid, right?
right.
And what that means to the writer. And then all of a sudden to flip it into, I am in love. I
Right.
am in love. She repeats it 3 times, but then she says at the end, I shout with the rough calculus of walking, which I thought that was also an awesome line because, it's the paradox of shouting by walking.
Right.
So she's within herself again at the end of the poem, but she's having these huge feelings
Right.
and this huge sense of joy. It feels
Yeah.
like to me.
Yeah.
But then she says, "Just let me find my way back. Let
Right.
me move like a tide come in." So, who or what is she in love with? Is she in love with someone or the whole of nature
Right.
or being outside?
And, like,
why,
so you've got the...
why is she out? I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Like, you've got the rough calculus, but she wants to move like a tide.
Which
Like,
would be smooth.
smooth, like inevitable, right? And not... but I guess a tide doesn't break... Well, it does break in waves,
Yeah.
but not... very interesting. And then just writing her name in sand... So, and that's not permanent, right? Like, and then the 18 seagulls, well, why 18? So again, it's this very physical, very visceral, and yet it becomes this emotional,
Right.
obviously, experience. Because what are we supposed to make of the green egg? I pick up a pebble that looks like a green egg. And then it's,
New life. I mean, maybe she's thinking
Right.
of a new relationship
Right.
she's just started.
but it's
or
just this
then-
tiny, I mean, she's on this massive beach.
Right, and picks up one tiny
And one little
pebble.
thing and thinks of an egg, which, like you said, is growth and all of that. So,
Right, and
wow.
I'm just confused as to just let me find my way back. Where does she need to get back
Right.
to? Does she need to get back to the person she loves? And that
back
idea
to
of impermanence. When
back
you
to
said
like
that.
a sense of not being overwhelmed, right? Like, is that
being
part of
in
it?
reality.
Yeah.
I also.
and then,
oh,
sorry.
go ahead. No,
well, I was
go
going to say
ahead.
the structure. I noticed it's 2 lines and then 3 lines and then 2 lines and then 3 lines. So I wonder why that structure. That would be something to.
Yeah, I mean, if
to
you read the
consider.
2 lines just back to back, they do kind of flow together. I wonder if that's almost a poem within a poem. Because if you see at the last set of 2 lines, to the house trimmed in gold, I am. So it's almost like she's talking about her own existence. You know,
Right, that line.
I
very
exist. I
Canadian
can
jam.
find myself.
Yeah, very
So,
cool poem.
Yeah, and I thought the title was, when I first saw that the moon rose over the bay, I had a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
I just thought that was, it's almost
Yeah.
like the most non-poetic
Yeah.
way to say I had
Right.
a lot of feelings, and now I'm going to tell you about it. But it caught my eye, and I don't know, it perfectly sums up the poem, right? She's talking about all these feelings at once
Yeah.
that she almost can't contain, but then she's walking, she's shouting during her walking, and so it's like it's all inside. Like, I guess someone watching her would never know that
Yeah.
this intense experience is going on.
Yeah, I'm just looking at like the first 5 stanzas are a sentence. And then you get like this little stanza is 2 sentences, or I guess it ends a sentence. You got a colon. So I don't know. I'm just looking at the line
Yeah,
breaks
the
and
punctuation.
punctuation is interesting because then there's a sentence in the middle of a line here, and the sentence at the beginning of a line. Like,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And I guess that's part of like the chaos, right? Like there's an abundance of kind of forms, and yet it's formed, and yet it kind of could write 2 lines to 3 lines. It's kind of a waving pattern, right? Maybe.
A rhythm to it. Well,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and she's trying to contain and figure out what these feelings are. So.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Please join the conversation in the comments on YouTube or on Twitter at Trojan Poetry DGN. Also, check out our website at trojanpoetrydgn.blogspot.com.